Welcome back to Transportation and Energy. I have some exciting content and a couple of interviews planned. In case you are just now joining, my name is Natalia Barber and I'm an assistant professor at TU Delft and your instructor this week. Let's do a quick recap of previous content. The resources across the board are in agreement that the transportation sector is one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions, mostly because it is primarily operated using oil-derived fuels. Researchers, city officials, and planners are working to change the current paradigm and make it less dependent on oil and more dependent on electricity, other resources of energy like hydrogen, or simply human-propelled modes like biking and walking. Let's try recalling from the first video last week what are the three factors that mainly impacted the total greenhouse gas emissions in transportation. These were fuel carbon intensity of a particular fuel, for example, diesel or hydrogen, energy intensity that is measured in megajoules per passenger kilometer and are specific to a mode. Train will have a different energy intensity than an airplane, and lastly, activity type or duration, which is the number of journeys or their distance. Having these three factors in mind, we will now explore ways to create cities like this one. The Economist Intelligence Unit's 2017 Global Livability Index awarded Melbourne as the world's top city for 7 years running. There are many different lists that rank cities regarding the quality of life, accessibility, or housing, and many include transportation as either direct or indirect measure contributing to these rankings. Just as there are rankings of top cities to live in, there are also lists that rank worst cities to live in. The link to one of these lists is available to you below. You can see for yourself whether you agree with that top or the bottom 10 and see if you can observe any relationship to transportation. We discussed earlier that urban transportation plays an enormous role in CO2 emissions. In case you ever wondered what the world would look like if all of a sudden we stopped traveling, we got a chance to experience that in 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has showed us a brief version of that world. In nearly a few months in 2020, estimated daily carbon emissions dropped dramatically. This is how cities around the world looked like when most commutes stopped and non-essential business did not operate. First, let's start with Milan in January of 2020 and then April 2020, followed by Venice over the same time period. Next, we have two powerful images from India, New Delhi and then next India Gate. Lastly, Los Angeles in the United States. Unfortunately, these changes did not last long, and the emissions started to increase as soon as the cities and countries started to reopen. So how do we, as individuals, make this long-lasting difference, and what tools can be used in the process? This week we will cover: why is it so difficult to abstain from car travel? Quantitative methods to measure benefits from mode shift, calculate and perform emissions inventory, and then carbon tax and marginal abatement cost curves, price elasticity of demand in transportation. So let's get to it.